as Equal Doom gets to square off against CapK. So Equal Doom going on to the Mario here, sorry, onto the Lucina here. It's interesting with this particular matchup in regards to how the sword kind of mitigates a lot of the offense that Mario tries to dish out.
Well, yeah, in particular, one of the cornerstones of Lucina as well as Marth is around jab. Jab is a phenomenal anti-air tool, and it's one of those tools that use whenever you're in neutral and you're like, okay, I'm checking you. This is my way of saying, do you know that this is coming and can you downplay around it? And you'll see a lot of other nice tools of conditioning, particularly Neutral Beat. A Shield Breaker is so sick after you put just a tad amount of shield damage on it, can be devastating and open up major opportunities for Lucina.
And when we talk about openings in particular with this matchup, you got to look at Mario. Even though he does have some decent range on some of his hitboxes, overall he's a very stubby character. He has to get up close and get personal to dish out the damage. Whereas, as we're seeing capitalized by Doom here, Equal Doom is just doing a good job of using the disjointed hitboxes that come with Lucina to constantly box out CapK.
Think of it like Raphael from Soul Calibur dishing out with this rapier, and then you have Mike Tyson trying to weave his way in through the blows and see if he can get his hands on his opponents.
The only thing he's going to be trying to get a hold of is that L in game number 1, CapK, and it again just goes back to the initial talking point. If the Mario is able to break through the walls that the Lucina sets up, that's when they're going to be able to get some damage, get some points onto the board, maybe even convert for some stocks. But Equal Doom just did a great job of consistently just walling out his opponent, not giving them any offensive options and constantly putting them on defense.
And it's enough to the point where CapK is considering swapping over to ZSS. So I think the big thing to highlight again with Lucina is that there's a variety of ways that you can destroy your opponent because of the normalization that comes with the blade. And there's also a lot of verticality that can also come with the character as well. But with ZSS, this character is really good at stacking it up. That's the easy description of this character, those up airs. And those platforms are definitely going to help out. But opening up your opponents, that's where a lot of conditioning, a lot of hard work goes into.
And I've seen so far from CapK, he seems very grab happy, and I think what Doom's going to be doing is playing around in a space where he's going to be tempting CapK to go for the grab, and then using Lucina's quicker speed as well as the decently strong hitboxes in order to punish the whiffed grab.
Okay, Doom, I see you. Nice little movements. This is, again, what Doom is really good at, just staying relevant, staying in that space and consistently threatening and forcing your opponent to say, okay, here's an answer. Great grab. Here's the follow-ups. No up airs, though. That actually probably would have worked well, considering that you could use the platforms to at least, even if the combo is dropped, set up for positioning.
One of the things about this particular stage, when you're squaring off against one of these swordsmen, they just have amazing coverage on these platforms. Great back air from Equal Doom. And that's just going to wrap things up. 2-0 and a handshake with a double 2-stock. Doom making that look like cake.
Man, I keep saying this over and over again. Even from the beginning, I loved playing the swordies because of the movement, the fluidity, and the consistency that comes with your swordsman and swords lady. Lucina, super sick character. I'm really glad to see a lot more love coming her way, especially considering that you don't give up that much range when it comes to Lucina's blade versus Marth's.
And something persistent blade. I don't know. I don't know. No, you're right, though. And it's interesting to see Lucina play a more active role to some extent in the current Smash metagame. At the same time, I feel like I'm one of those folks where, especially if you're playing at the most optimal high level, then under those particular conditions and circumstances, I feel like Marth is just a better character because you're rewarded for your perfection. But yeah, that, of course, deals back to the fact that it's human nature, right? We're not perfect human beings. We make mistakes. And in those particular cases, maybe it's better off to go with the consistency that Lucina brings.
And that's definitely something that I love to talk about with people when it comes to Lucina.